Hello, beautiful souls. Thank you guys so much for joining me here and welcome to my table. If you're new here, hello, my name is Zachary. It's nice to meet you. If you're returning, it's good to see you guys again. Pull up a chair, my friends. I did save you a seat. And holy hell's bells, it has been a hot freaking minute, I know. Almost 2 months here, actually, or about 2 months, a little over 60 days since I have posted my last reading. You guys, I am back, and that is a part of this reading here too, talking about coming home. I do want to go over the theme of this reading. I pulled a few oracle cards, and then we can pull a few more and get into the message a little bit further. I'm not sure if there's going to be an extended on this yet or not. I just felt very called to sit down here and do this. Like I said, it's been a hot freaking minute. I chose that song there at the beginning, A Little More by Jessica Darrow, because it's talking about, the shadow, the dark, and a light being in the dark, being led back home. This reliance on love, the heart, our hearts, the hearts of others, right? As a guiding light, finding our way back home. Okay, that's kind of how I feel, or that is how I feel right now. This is a bit of a homecoming reading, so I'm welcoming you guys back home here, and welcoming myself back to my home here, and in the hearts of those that I also consider to be home, and my place here too on YouTube. So y'all, grab a chair. Like I said, let's get into this. So, a few oracle cards that I pulled. We'll get started here. I started with the Rose Oracle, and the first that came through is the Rose Thread. This is Inner Call, Soul Led, and the Mystic Living Courageously. So, what comes through here with this card? We're talking about the inner call, following something that we're being led to do. The Rose Thread here, especially the rose, is a very high vibrational love kind of energy. Purification or purity of purpose, pure intentions, that sort of thing. So there is some sort of call here that we're receiving and we are listening to, or perhaps not listening to. Being that we are smack dab here in Scorpio season, we're talking about death and rebirth. And, good golly, Miss Molly. Hell's bells. I've definitely had a lot of death and rebirth happening for myself as well. For those of you who do know or don't know, I made a huge move over to the East Coast from the West Coast, and that is why I took a break here. I needed to collect myself and do some healing and do some soul searching, and yes, I needed to take some time. So I'm grateful for your guys' patience. There have been a lot of deaths, endings from my life over there, and beautiful beginnings over here as well, with new homes and new families. So let's get into this. I think this is a very important message here for a lot of us right now, as things are a bit crazy out there, right? So Wild Unknown Archetypes deck is what I felt called to work with next here. And we got Thanatos. Thanatos, and then also the Village. So, very interesting here, on point. I started this message when I was getting ready to go here. I felt called to do a homecoming message, like I'm coming home, I'm coming up, I'm coming home, I'm back sort of thing, because this is a bit of an I'm back message. I did, and I don't have a timer going. Well, first message here, we'll just, we'll go based off of whenever this is done. So Thanatos, we're talking about death. We're talking about initiation into the underworld, endings. With every ending does also come a beginning. So far here with this message, and then the Village, we're talking about home, family, that sort of thing. So what we're used to, maybe the circle track here that we've been running, something in that vein coming to an end, or having come to an end. This could be living situation, job, relationship, the way that we've been doing something, etc. Death comes for us all, right? Everything does end at some point. And that's not necessarily like a finality that everything is over when death comes through. Death is about change. Whatever way that we've been doing something, or something we've been experiencing, a way of being, is shifting, has shifted, or needs to shift. Especially with the village coming through here, we're talking about something to do with home, which again, I felt called to choose that song for this purpose: home, family, the way that we engage with family, the way that we engage with our home, what we do consider to be home, etc. Okay. The next card that came through here, I felt called to pull the Starseed Oracle. The Season Mintaka is what came through. So this is seeing potential and bringing unconsciousness to light. Now, with this one in particular, I did feel called to read what was in the book here, so I'm going to do that. So, Mintaka is thought, I'll just put this up to the camera here. Mintaka is thought to have been a water-based planet containing the most crystal clear waters you could ever imagine. So clear that you could see for miles and miles underwater. The Season Mintaka card represents this crystalline clarity of potential and possibility. It's about the ability and choice to see the potential in all people and situations. This could be one of your natural traits, or it could be a sign that what you're currently doing has great potential. Mintakans are thought to have been a galactic race who saw the light in everything and everyone. You may have received this card as confirmation that a situation or project has extreme potential and will reach fruition. If it appears in a spread, it's a very positive sign that things are working out for the highest potential of all involved. It's a very uplifting, light-filled card that brings great harmony, contentment, and positive outcomes. According to Carl Jung, that which we do not bring to consciousness appears in our life as fate. When water appears in dreams and art, it often represents the unconscious mind. Pulling this card also means you may be called to bring to light any unconscious patterns of which you're unaware, to look at them and see them clearly and consciously so they don't appear in your life as fate. What unconscious patterns or behaviors are ready to be brought to the light of day? How can you see the potential in a situation you're facing, and what unconscious patterns are you being called to bring to light? So this is interesting in particular with that Carl Jung quote. That has been on my mind a lot recently in my own life and relationships and situations, right? I think about that a lot, especially with what I do here. The light and the shadow. The shadow, the unconscious realm, is really what we choose not to see or what we can't see. And there are parts of ourselves that have been relegated to the shadow, either that we've put there or that others have forced us to put there as well. As children, as we grow older, parts of ourselves that become unacceptable. And most of the time, these are parts that are actually very good things, like maybe singing, right? We enjoy doing art, but somebody told us we sucked, this sort of thing. There are also parts in the shadow that are a bit harder to see. Maybe we wince. Maybe it's difficult to see parts of ourselves that we don't want others to see or we don't want ourselves to see. Well, my friends, it seems like this is a time here. I'm being drawn especially to the rose thread, inner call, soul led. This is a time to deal with some shit. Let's get into this a little bit further. There are changes afoot. I do feel called to pull one more of the Wild Unknown Archetype deck, and then we'll get into the Animal deck here too and move forward. Last piece here on the theme of this reading, please, Spirit. The Kiss. Interesting. Well. The Kiss. So when this card comes out, we are talking about, well, this seems like it could be a relationship in particular. Whether this is a relationship to somebody outside of ourselves, something inside of ourselves, how we relate to us. This card in particular does tend to be a little bit more romantic. The kiss, like a kiss that we give somebody, right? It could be along the lines of the Season Mintaka here, a potential, a promise from the past, a promise into the future, remembering certain things. But romance is a part of this. With the crescent moon here too, I see this as either a waxing or waning component. Is something gaining momentum or is something losing momentum? I feel like this is yet to be seen. I think that there are choices, as always, that can and do need to be made in order to decide whether or not this is a waxing or waning moon. Let's get into it a little bit further. I want to pull some Wild Unknown Animal archetype decks or oracle deck here. Couple cards. 2. Okay. Can we go a little further into this message here, please, Spirit? What else do we need to know about this message? Which one's here? Top. And one more. Okay. What else here, please, on this message? Hummingbird came out here. I'll get to this here in a second. And the moth. Interesting. Cobra here at the bottom. So when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Along the lines of that, it does feel like there's something coming up from the shadow realm right now, you guys. Death and rebirth, Scorpio season, like I said. We have Scorpio and Aquarius for the next little bit. So there are structures and major towers that are coming down collectively and for us individually. And this is not typically, or is at all, an easy process. When we start to have things come up from our shadow that we have been refusing to see collectively and individually, it can be, we can make the choice. Maybe this is the choice here that decides whether this is a waxing or waning moon. We can make the choice here to ignore it or to stare it down like the son of a bitch it is, right? So I think we have an opportunity here to make a change, make that change. So hummingbird and moth come through. Hummingbird, to start, we're talking about positivity. When the hummingbird comes through here as well, I think of how quickly their wings move and how we can't really see that happen without technology. We can't see that with our naked eye. So there's an amount of belief or hope that comes with this card for me, but positivity, leaning into positivity. It's important right now, like with the season Mintaka here, seeing potential, to lean into that side of positivity, to see hope in a situation, okay? With the moth coming through here as well. So this is distraction, or can be distraction. I think the difficulty in this situation right now is, like I said, with things coming up from the subconscious or the unconscious realm, are we willing to see it for what it is, or are we going to distract ourselves from it? This could be anything from behaviors, vices, that sort of thing, ways that we've been living, anything that we've been pushing off to the side into the shadow. Do you want another one of these? One of these? Yeah. Okay. This is the Talisman Oracle. Talisman Oracle here. We'll pull another one of these too, and then we'll get into tarot here in just a second, you guys. What else with this message, please, Spirit? Seems like there's some hard work ahead. Financial security, navigation here at the bottom too. This could be in particular for some of you to do with maybe something vice-wise to do with finances, maybe gambling, maybe overspending, that sort of thing. For others of you, I feel like we're talking about security in general. We live in a world of money, whether we like it or not. And money allows us to feel secure. If we can pay our bills, we can eat, pay for rent, we feel secure, right? So what this boils down to for me is we're talking about our foundation. We're talking about a base of some sort. Okay, do we want to get into tarot here? One more? From what? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. This is a new Oracle deck for me, and I don't normally do this many Oracle cards in the beginning, but here we are. All right, welcome back. This is the Magical Drum Oracle, and I got this from Freya. Freya TV is her channel here on YouTube. I will try to remember to post a link to that if you guys want to check her out. She's wonderful. What else here, please, Spirit? The links. Okay. I'm going to read this one here in the book because I'm still learning this Oracle deck, but it is a beautiful deck. So the links here. The links. We're talking about determination, practical thinking, foresight, challenge of boundaries and comfort zone, and courage and objectivity. Things are not exactly what they appear to be. You must use discernment to peel back the layers of deception and see things for what they are. Underlying truths need to be discovered and faced. See the truth of the matter. Be objective in any situation. Listen to your gut instincts. Timing is everything right now, and when an opportunity presents itself, wait, watch, and then pounce on projects when the moment is right. Be a skilled listener and work on becoming the master of sensing things others miss or ignore. Be more playful and flexible in your life. Reach out for more opportunities, break out of your molds, and change your routines. Do not fly under the radar of others. So, Okay, interesting. I mean, this brings up topics that we're talking about here already. That things are coming up from the underworld here with Thanatos. It's time for things to change. This feels like whatever's going on, it can be different for everybody, but we're talking about devil activity, essentially, vices, that sort of thing. This could be a sneaky one to identify. This may not be something that is super obvious to us all the time if we're not paying attention, especially if we don't want to pay attention. With this talking about not flying under the radar of others, I kind of see this as others being other components of ourselves too. Let yourself be seen. Let yourself be seen by others, but let yourself be seen by yourself here. This is a part of the kiss too, the reward, love, right? Bringing love to those, bringing love to those components of ourselves as well. Okay. Let's get into this a little bit further, you guys. Let's move into tarot. Where do we want to go? Start with Catacorn. Catacorn Tarot. Here we go. Cats and unicorns. So I am going to use I'm going to use two different decks here to get this started. Spirit, can we get into this message a little bit further, please? Coming home to ourselves, coming home to others, coming home to what home means. Two of Cups here at the split. So connection, this can be love. This is if it's a relationship, romantic friendship, business partnership, they are two people who very much understand each other and have a deep appreciation for each other. Okay. Queen of Wands here at the bottom. So this is our hope, hopes and dreams. So our hope here is confidence, knowing who we are. This feels like in this transition, what's happening right now, I'm still getting used to this new setup here, you guys, so thanks for your patience. What's happening right now is we're coming back home. We're coming back to this concept that the Queen of Wands knows who she is. Very much that dragon energy, that solar plexus vibe, a healthy ego. It feels like as things are transitioning right now, whatever the concept is of transition you're experiencing, this is the thread we're looking to get back to. The Queen of Wands knows who she is. She don't give a shit what you think about who she is, right? Because she knows deep down that she's living for herself. And by doing this, she's able to provide love, support, friendship, whatever, to those around her in a healthy capacity. Okay. Do Curious Travels here for the next deck. All right, Spirit, what else here, please, for this message? So this is going to be the fear aversion pile. We'll continue on with this message here, please. I did feel I almost sang, what is that song? It's a Rihanna song. It was from the movie Home. Turn your face towards the sun. Let the shadows fall behind you. Almost said starfish. Interesting. The sunflowers here on the Queen of Wands. Sunflowers always face the sun until that like last 2% of their life or whatever. But for the most part, they follow the sun. Not that song is talking about being positive, leaning into positivity. When you turn your face or when you turn towards the light or the sun, the shadows fall behind you. We're not talking about ignoring the shadow or what's coming up in the shadow. The way I see this is more we're seeing what is in the shadow and we're turning to the light, to the conscious, in order to transmute that, to bring that towards the light. We're not choosing to face negativity or the shadow. We're facing down what is in the shadow, but we're transmuting that through alchemy into the light. I think of Temperance, the Temperance card. So, fear aversion here at the bottom, we have Three of Wands. So there's a fear aversion towards expansion. The Three of Wands also, there's a component of this card that talks about things not being what they seem. And we had that here with the Lynx. I feel like there's something here that, we may be having difficulty. Like, let's say this is a vice. Maybe we drink a little too much. Maybe weed is something that's involved. Sex, food, porn, TV, avoidance. Like there's so many different things. Addiction to emotions, even. There can be lots of things that we get lost in and can use as a diversion from seeing the truth of something. And the truth is that we have this going on, right? Even when we do maybe see the truth from time to time, it can be hard to come back to this place of, I choose to grow. I choose to expand. I choose to be in the center of this growth, to be a part of the growth that's happening around me and not continue to get lost in those behaviors. But we're human, right? And we get back up. We get back up and we've fallen down. Okay, let's get into this a little bit further. So, general energy surrounding the message here. Well, yes, death comes through. So we had this with Thanatos too. Scorpio season, like I said, death and rebirth. So there is a change, a transition, an ending, something happening in our realm, either currently has happened, will happen shortly. This can be collectively, it can be individually too. The way I take this is it's time for change. Something needs to change. Something's not working. Whether this is that something needs to, or is an end, or is fully ending, needs to end, is really dependent on the situation. This is a general reading, so it's going to depend on what's going on for us individually. But this is an energy that's demanding transition. We're talking about transition. Birth, rebirth comes with death. Death comes with birth. Death is the gift to birth, and birth is the gift to death. They walk hand in hand. This doesn't mean always that, we have to fully step away from something. We have to be willing to surrender, is the way that I'm taking this. We have to let go of trying to control a component of something. And that's what this period is all about. What else do we have here, please, on death? Seven of Wands comes through here too. So the way I take this, especially with the monkey brain here on this card, Seven of Wands is a form of like digging our heels in, playing king of the hill, so to speak, being the last person standing. Ego is something we were talking about with our hopes, the Queen of Wands. What is our goal here? We are here to change. Being human is to fall and get back up, and fall again and get back up again, and fall and get back up again, over and over and over. The only thing that we can't avoid is change. We want things, that was in that song. We want things, when things are changing, we want it to stay the same. That's not possible. We can't have that. So surrendering into a change, like I said, not digging our heels in to allow for something to transition here. Okay. And this is, I feel like this could be a difficult message. I know personally with the transitions that have happened in my life, it's been really difficult moving over here, like I said, releasing what it was over there for me, like even my set here. I really had to release perfection. I really struggle with perfection. And when things don't feel perfect to me, it hurts. And that's shame and insecurity on my own end. But I can take that out on people around me because I feel unsafe. I feel like my foundation with financial security is being rocked. Good example, needing to release into what's new. Something ended in that move. Coming over here, things also began. New home, new family, like I said, new opportunity to get back to work in a different capacity, to come here and meet you guys in a little bit different setting, but much more comfortable and spacious, which I very much appreciate. It helps me feel more secure in what I'm doing, and I'm very grateful to be able to come back here, you guys. But also with relationships, like there were a lot of transitions in moving from where I'm used to being into new relationships over here on the East Coast. And I'll be honest with you, it's been difficult. I've had to release control, which I'm still working on doing, and it's been painful. And here we are. Here we are, right? In Scorpio season where we're getting ready to move into Sagittarius, where action is to be taken to move into the newness of it all. Whether this is something completely new or a reinvention of what it is that we needed to reinvent, okay? Job, relationship, place of living, friends, et cetera, et cetera. So this can be a little bit of a tricky message, I feel like. It certainly is for me, but I am in a place of faith and surrender, like I said, that no matter what, things are going to be okay. And I do trust that spirit does have the highest, the goal for all of us to reach our highest outcomes at heart, in mind. And that includes us. We're a part of that. So lean into the discomfort, I guess. Lean into the crunch is kind of what I'm feeling here. Don't dig your heels in. Let the flow flow. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your gut. That was coming through here on the links here. Listen to your gut. What is it telling you? I'm getting Grandmother Willow from Pocahontas. Listen to the wind. Something feels painful right now. Anxiety sucks, right? Especially if it's intense and pain. That can really muddy a message. What is at the heart of the matter? Where are you being led to go? Remember where you're going. Yeah. Okay. Anything else here, please, on the general component of this message? Self-limiting beliefs. Negative thoughts are creating a roadblock in your life. So I take that as, digging our heels in, like I said, being negative thoughts, trying to hold on to one way of being while whatever this transition is leading us to is to something beautiful. I do know that in my bones. Whether this is something brand new or a reinvention, a new level, you 2.0, right? Your relationship 2.0, your living situation 2.0, your job 2.0. Have faith. Have faith, my child. I'm right there with you, okay? Let's look at the blessing or the good stuff at this time. Ooh, interesting. Okay, the world. So with the world coming through, this is a great completion. For some of you, this can also signify travel, like traveling the world. But as I'm talking about a 2.0, so this feels more like a reinvention rather than it is maybe a complete ending. Every situation is going to be different. But when we hit the world versus something like death, we have reached a level of mastery over something. We have understood something. We're able to take what we've learned and transition that into the Fool 2.0, starting back at the beginning, but with more a new game plus, so to speak, starting back at the beginning and having additional skills or knowledge or materia. I was just playing through Final Fantasy VII. That we get to start over again with, okay? Interesting. I like that. So for those of you where maybe things are a little bit stressful or painful right now towards something that you're hoping has the ability to have new life breathed into it, I take that as a very good sign. There is a potential for that. With the kiss coming through here too, like I said, is the moon waxing or waning? Is something gaining momentum or losing momentum? There's a big choice in this. Caesar Mintaka standing out again, seeing potential, getting back to the heart of the matter. Listen to your heart when he's calling for you, right? Listen to your heart. Let's get back to home. This is where home is, our heart, okay? What else here in the good stuff? The Hanged Man. Well, interesting. So anything that is coming through in the good stuff is good stuff. The Hanged Man is a pause, is a wait. We have been hung upside down, or we have hung ourselves upside down here to see something from a different perspective. I feel like whatever is transitioning here, the death Thanatos component here, there's not a rush. There's not a rush here to figure out. What I'm getting is like to land on lily pad A or lily pad B. That's interesting. So we're at a crossroads here. There is time to figure out. Listen to your heart. What is it saying? we are in this space of pause, of repose, so that we can see something differently. There's something that we've been missing this whole time. Maybe we've gotten off course with something, right? Maybe we made promises to ourselves or others, and we've kind of gotten away from fulfilling those promises to ourselves or others. Okay, I feel called to pull another animal oracle here on this. The good stuff, please. For the collective. Good stuff. What else do we have here, please, Spirit? The eagle. Hey, love that. Beaver here at the bottom. So we are talking about hard work and family. The beaver is somebody who puts family first. The home family is important to them. Okay, they may not always be somebody who initiates something, but they're willing to put their whole ass into something. The eagle, though, is what comes through. Courage. We're talking about courage. Freedom as well. So whatever this transition is talking about, it feels like there's been a level of constraint, whether it's a relationship, job, relationship to ourselves, living situation, what have you, a vice. Something has been keeping us away from being as free or open as we possibly can be. Maybe there's been codependence in a situation. Maybe it's independence that we're needing to gain. Being in the positive here, there's courage, a request to have courage here to be independent. Maybe, if you're in a relationship with somebody, and like I said, there's been codependency, to be independent together. Independent together. I just got done watching through Steven Universe again for the 14th time. I very much enjoy Steven Universe, and that's one of the songs on there in the movie that they do, Independent Together. I do feel like it's important to have a healthy interdependence, to know who we are as individuals so that we can come together in whether it's work, romantic, or friendship, to know who we are and be strong in that so that we can come together with others and be strong there too. I'm going to pull one more card here in the good stuff. Anything else here, please, for the collective? Yeah, totally. Boundaries, know when to put up and let down your walls. So exactly what I was saying there with independence, interdependence, codependence, okay? It feels like a big part of a transition that's happening here is redefining boundaries. Maybe the boundaries were clear in the beginning, whatever the situation is, and they've gotten muddy, or maybe they've never really been clear. It feels like this is an opportunity to get clear on what those boundaries are. What do you want this kiss to mean, right? What potential do you see with the Seas of Mintaka? It's time to set those boundaries and create the reality that you want to have. Now's the time, okay? Let's look at what we don't see coming. What is in the unknown right now? Ooh, King of Pentacles. Well. King of Pentacles. I'm drawn back to financial security here, especially with the King of Pentacles. But King of Pentacles is a very gracious individual. They're financially abundant. They're financially secure. They're an excellent partner, protector, and friend. Especially if this has to do with love or relationship, this is somebody who's willing to do whatever it takes to do the damn thing, right? So if this is a friend, work partner, relationship, right? Girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse. This is somebody who's willing to do whatever it takes to make something happen. What we don't see coming, maybe there has been a bit of discourse. There's been a bumpy road here. It seems like there has been. And maybe we've lost sight of this component of a person, or we don't see this part of them coming forward. Like, yeah, I feel like this really applies, in my own life too. Being ready to eternally make a change. Interesting. But this is somebody who is gracious and who is willing to share what it is that they have with others, especially the knowledge on how to build abundance for themselves too. So if this is a person in your life already, it feels like there's a commitment. If it's somebody that it feels more like this is somebody we already know. If it's a work issue, friend, lover, whatever, things getting better is the way that I take that. And this helps provide a bit more financial security too. Helps to redefine our own foundations. Knight of Cups. This is okay. This definitely feels like love. Knight of Cups here coming through in the unknown, what we don't see coming. This is a romantic. This is somebody who is a lover. Especially in this deck here, we've got the face kind of looks like death. We've been talking about transition. So this could be love for a lot of you, something transitioning in the way of love, a shedding, right? Something, this cloak is what's standing out to me here. A cloak being removed, something that is has been weighing a person down or a situation down is being released. And we've got the fish on the cape there too, le poisson, right? Steve le the cape made of fish here. The fish, the poisson, is an energy of somebody who gets kind of lost in a flow, doesn't really know what flow to take, getting subsumed by a current. So what I see here is somebody getting back on track, removing whatever it is that has caused them to lose their way, so to speak. This could be somebody outside of you. This could be us as well. What we don't see coming, I love coming. I love this combination of cards here. Love and commitment. Love and marriage, love and marriage. I'm going to do an animal card on this here too. What else do we not see coming? I don't think that I'm going to do an extended on this. I'll just do an extensive reading here. What else do we have here, please, for what we don't see coming for the collective? Dragonfly, frog here at the bottom, healing, you guys, cleansing. Love that. So healing in security, in grace, in love. Dragonfly. Dragonfly is a very magical, mystical energy as well. When I see the dragonfly, I think about, when we see a dragonfly make a wish, there is an angel riding on its wings. In this deck in particular, we're talking about the shifting of the mind. So what we don't see coming, there may have been anxiety, like I've been saying, some anxiety towards love, towards security or a partner, okay? I see this shifting into a way where the anxiety starts to calm. What's really standing out to me here actually is the cup that the Knight of Cups is pouring here. So we're talking about a singular cup, Ace of Cups, a renewed sense of love or relationship, a new relationship. Transitioning, okay, 2.0, or it could represent a brand new relationship. I feel like because of the way that this is set up, we're talking about a current situation shifting into something much better. But everybody's situation is different, okay? Let's pull one more here on what we don't see coming. Dedication, yep. And strength, determination, perseverance, and self-discovery. Dedication, stay dedicated to your goals, efforts that will reap success. This feels like a promise, you guys. This feels like a promise being fulfilled, okay? Promise to yourself, a promise made by somebody else. What I'm seeing is like really swimming in the dark here, back to the kiss. There are these two hands. They're somebody holding somebody else's hands. I don't know if you can hear the ice cream truck outside here. But what I see coming forward here, like we've been subsumed, like the fish here. We've been subsumed in a current. We've gotten lost from our original connection to something, belief, hope. And this is coming full circle. It's like here in the village. We're coming back home. We're coming back to family. We're understanding what that means. What I think about with Thanatos and death, we cannot be resurrected until we have fully died. Something cannot be resurrected until it is fully dead. So when death comes in, it can mean many different things. Whether this is something that's fully starting over new, something brand new, something has died and buried in the ground and something new is sprouting over here, or if it's something has died and then it is then being resurrected, so something transitioning into a better form of that, death must first come through. If something is rotting, a relationship, a job, a living situation, there's a corpse there, something's bad, painful, wrong, it has to fully die in order for it to be taken care of. in order for it to be resurrected or sent off to the coroner's office, right? It feels like there is a choice in this too. This is a very interesting layered reading. Let's get into the challenge here. What is the challenge at this time with this reading, please? Totally. Totally. Okay, the star comes through. Love to see this. Love this. All right. The star comes after the tower. Tower is an energy of violent upheaval. It feels like this is a part of this energy here too, you guys. When death comes through, when the call of death comes through, which is the general energy of this reading, we can avoid death only for so long. We can get a little bit of time. And if we surrender to a transition, then we may be allowed more grace in that situation, whether it's to be resurrected or something new starts. If we avoid something dying, then the tower tends to come through. The benefit of the tower is there's freedom. We can break free from chains. There's illumination that happens. We see something coming up from the shadow, seeing potential, seeing something that needs to be seen. But it tends to be a little bit more of a rough ending or transition. The star, though, comes after the tower. This is renewed hope. This is the resurrection. This is following your truth, too, listening to your heart. The star is the lantern, the light in the hermit's lantern. It is the truth that the hermit has found inside of themselves that is brought forward to lead their way. So I feel like the difficulty here is allowing for hope to be renewed, is allowing for that resurrection. Because in order to make that happen, the death must first happen, right? And death is hard. Death is painful. What else here in the challenge, please? The magician. Well, speaking of potential, I love that. So part of the difficulty here is remembering that we have the ability to create whatever it is that we want. It feels like with this being subsumed with the fish here, the path of the fish, we have forgotten the power that we do have to create the reality that we want. Whatever the situation is, work, relationship, friends, ourselves, it feels like we've lost sight of how powerful we are and the commitments that we've made to ourselves in the beginning, commitments that we've made to others as well, the kiss, the village, home and family, lovers, connections. So the difficulty here is letting something kind of start over is kind of what I'm getting here with the star. Renewed hope towards our own potential to create. What else here, please, in the challenge? And we'll wrap this up. What else here, please, in the challenge? Oh, the tarantula. Okay. Butterfly here at the bottom to transition, to become something new. The tarantula, though, this is about a choice. This choice, though, that the tarantula has to make comes with patience. Like I was saying with the hangman here and boundaries in the good stuff, this is something that this may take a minute for you to understand or for us to understand what it is that we need to see and understand. But the tarantula knows that we'll make the decision that is appropriate to make, the right decision, so to speak. They will be patient and wait to strike, okay? The challenge here is maybe that patience. Maybe something does hurt right now. In order to see through the pain of whatever transition's happening right now, to see the truth of a matter, we need to allow a little bit of time and maybe space, okay? Anything else here in the challenge, please, Spirit? Manifestation. Law of attraction, thoughts become things. This is the magician here. So a part of the challenge right now is to watch our thoughts. What is it that you do want as you're working to connect with your heart, your purpose, your dedication, promises that have been made, your original purpose or intention towards something? What do you want? To watch our thoughts here too. Thoughts and thinking are different things. When a thought comes up, we make the choice to think about it or not. What is it that you want? Allow your thoughts to become thinking that aligns with what it is that you do want. Pay attention to your thoughts, but don't let them rule what it is that ends up being manifested. You are the one who decides how to control that, okay? I'm going to pull, all right, two more oracles here. This is going to be a little bit of a longer one, but it's my homecoming. It's my welcome back. Blue Angel Oracle here, please, Spirit. Final message for the collective on this reading. What else do we need to know regarding this? Memories. Interesting. Memories. All alone in the moonlight. So memory coming through here. I'm going to read this in the book, but my first take on this, as I'm talking about the kiss, the village, home, family, lovers, dedication, commitment, somebody committing to something here, and manifestation with thoughts, renewed hope, being courageous, to go back and connect with original you, who you are, what you want, what you love, what you don't, right? I'm going to read this here in the book, though. This is 11. I love to see 1-1. It's a time of creation. Healing. Beautiful. Healing. Welcome to a time of deep reflection and healing. Let go, relax, and be grateful for the many blessings in your life. Over the coming days, you may find yourself reflecting on the past. Allow these memories to surface like precious jewels in an ocean of light as you revisit times of sorrow, laughter, pain, joy, family, friends, and loved ones. Right on point. You hold precious moments in your heart, pearlescent drops of joy and sadness that flow like blessed summer rains. Life is a gift. Every moment is a miracle. The light and love we each hold in our hearts are part of an eternal story. As you spiritually connect with those you love and all who have been part of your journey, be reminded that all on earth may come and go, but love is forever present. Life is constantly changing, but its core essence remains the same. True love never changes. It just grows stronger as all drifts back to its eternal glow. You are forever in my heart, a memory that fills me with rainbow light. I love that this cat has a rainbow on it. Beautiful. I certainly have memories of my own. This seems to be the time that we're going through. So I love that advice. Thank you, Spirit. I'm going to pull a Medicine Heart Oracle here, and then I'll close this out, you guys. So you want this one? Okay. Final message here, please. This one also has fish on it. Love it. The octopus tentacles and then the fish being lost in a flow, trying to figure out which flow we want to be in, and the octopus being boundaries. That came through here in the good stuff. Dragon's Gate. Your efforts shall bear bountiful fruit, even beyond your expectations. Rest when needed, but refuse to turn away from your goal. Acknowledge how far you have come and affirm your confidence and capability to progress further. You shall cross a significant spiritual threshold, overcome long-term obstacles, and experience irreversible liberation. What your heart seeks is within reach. Do not give up. Well, that's beautiful. Everybody, thank you. I hope this message is helpful. I'm excited to go back and watch this myself too. I think this is an important message for me too. So I love you all. And I am going to not do an extended, like I said. I am opening up private readings again. If you guys want to check that out, I will have links in the description of my video. You can head to the website, that sort of thing. Otherwise, until next time, I love you guys. Please take care of yourselves. Be well.